Hey everybody. So this week's topic is going to be on Satya, which means truthfulness. And this is taken out of the Yoga Sutras, which is the document written by Patanjali about 2,500 years ago, which is an outline of human consciousness. It's a manual for how things work, basically. And Satya is the second of the Yamas. Okay, so there's 8 limbs to the yogic path: Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi. And the Yamas talk about the things that we don't do. Last week we talked about ahimsa, don't be violent, meaning not, himsa meaning violence, so non-violence. This week Satya means truthfulness, so not lying. And so I think it's important to just back up for a moment, and because that's a lot, right? We have this document that helps us understand how reality works, a manual for human consciousness. It also helps us understand where suffering comes from and how to alleviate suffering and the nature of the mind. And so what I like to look at when I look at the yamas as things not to do and the niyamas as things to do, really it's helpful to understand that when we are in the space of yoga, the things not to do just naturally happen. And the things to do just naturally happen. And what does that mean for us? When we orient ourselves towards the highest, meaning what is the best outcome for all things in this moment and in the next moment and the next moment, if I can continue to stay oriented to that, right, in alignment with what is the best thing for all of reality, then I'm naturally not violent. I'm naturally speaking the truth. And I won't get into all the other things, but I'm naturally breathing easily. I'm naturally steady and easy in my body. My senses aren't pulled towards the outer world. They're actually turned inward on the heart. And I guess what I'm kind of alluding to here is that we don't necessarily have to look at these things like rules that must be followed. However, they are observations of what is naturally unfolding in a human being when they're in alignment. And so yes, they can be helpful, right? We can reverse engineer them and they can help us kind of pick better choices. But deep down inside, there's some discerning faculty that is letting us know all the time when we're not being truthful, right? There's a discerning faculty in us that's letting us know when we're not being peaceful. And somehow inside of us, we know that, we feel that. And so my contemplation this week and my invitation to you is just a curiosity or an investigation into what this concept, Satya, means in an embodied way, in a practical way. What does it mean to be true to oneself, to honor one's own life, to honor one's own dreams and ambitions and inspirations? Right? What does it mean to be true to those things? And to speak clearly about that. Right? Has anyone ever felt like when someone asks you something and then you just find yourself kind of skirting on the surface and you're not really getting to the core of it, you're not really communicating the essence of what's really real? And just curious why? Why do we do that? Is there a way to center ourselves so that we can communicate from our deepest truth? And we can investigate into what that truth is. And remember that sadhana is the means of accomplishing something. Fill in the blank with that something. And to know that we have the Yoga Sutras and we have these yamas and niyamas to help us remain aligned with what we're trying to accomplish when we do our practice. Right? Is there a better thing to work towards then to be peaceful, to be in harmony, to be truthful, to not steal? Are there better things that we can align ourselves with than these inspirational motives? Because when we align ourselves with our deepest inspiration, we align ourselves with humanity and with what the world needs. And we can practice doing that. We can practice doing that because it starts inside as a feeling, and we can embody that feeling, and we can do so for 10 or 20 or 30 minutes every day. Before we go do anything else, we can do this. And that's our gift. That's our gift, that we can cultivate the feeling of what we want more of in the life in our own bedroom. And we can embody the yogic precepts, the yamas and the niyamas, we can embody them so that they become more real and they become realized. And then we live our life in truth, and it's not a concept that we need to try. Right? Sometimes we tell a lie because we're afraid. It's an unconscious thing, it's not our fault. But we have to practice. We have to practice aligning ourselves so that they just come out and they become natural. And then they're observations, they're just observed. And that's cool. It's really cool that you guys can do that, that we can do that. Wow. So keep doing that. And thank you for watching this video. I'm looking forward to practicing with you all. Peace.